Because sometimes it may not be one. But what was the biggest challenge, if there was, in blending the families together?
For me, I think it was expecting too much too soon. I went in because I was raised in a traditional family, having a certain perception of how the house would be run, not realizing that traditional family answers don't work for blended families. They don't work. And so that was my biggest challenge, was expecting too much too soon and not understanding that, I'm setting myself up for frustration, expecting certain things out of him or certain things from my daughter that I feel like I'm trying to pull when I need to just let it flow.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
That was my biggest challenge.
Too much too soon. Family.
You don't have time. You don't have enough. Well, I'll say this, and I'll let my wife kind of chime in. She'll do a better job than me.
I don't know.
When people get involved in a blended family, they really think that they are. Has anybody ever juiced?
Yeah.
You juice?
Yeah.
There's a difference between juicing and blending. So when you juice, you don't get the pulp. When you blend, everything goes in. And so a lot of times people, they say they want to blend, but really they want to juice. They don't want it all.
Yeah.
And I knew up front that we had to take all of it.
All of it.
And all of it was a lot. Because anytime you get involved in a blended family, if somebody is jealous, hurt, or insecure, the kids are always the casualties.
Yes.
Wow.
Always.
Wow.
That's right.
And we say kids first, but a lot of times the kids get hurt because the parents have certain issues. And so I'll kind of let you speak a little bit too.
I agree 110%.
Yeah.
I always try to be very cautious with my words because I love my boys.
Yeah.
And I know they love their mother. But it was challenging. It's incredibly challenging when the two houses are not only on the same page, but we're not on the same page for like no reason.
For no reason.
Like there's no real solid reason of why we can't get on the same page. And I think that that's the biggest challenge. We just couldn't get on the same page no matter what we tried to say, do, how we said it, what time of day, what month, it just, and then I like what you said about expecting too much too soon.
Yeah.
I think that was some of me too.
Right. Yeah.
I do. I like that.
Man, like, what is one positive step to take in building a relationship with your stepkids? Now, let me say this. I was just with Lo on his lunch on Wednesdays, and I was sharing with him that when my mom got married, now, of course, we weren't like a blended family. My stepfather had kids, but they were grown. They wasn't with us.
But that is a blend.
But it's a blend, but I'm just saying I'm not on y'all level, is what I'm saying. Like that. And so my stepfather, whom I really never even say stepfather, like he my dad, period.
Right.
And what he did, I was sharing with Lo, when we got out to the house in Mo City, he threw a barbecue, and we had this talk. He just said, "Hey, brother, I love your mom. I love you. I married your mom. I married you. This is a package deal." He was like, "I know I'm not your biological father." He said, "But I'm the man of this house. I'm a man of this house." And he just kind of set the tone early.
Right.
And I ain't really, I wasn't in any type of limbo. Like, the biggest thing I had was what I'm gonna call you, cuz. That was the big thing. Like, what I'm gonna call you. And he said, "Well, my name's Joe."
Yeah.
And at the time I only knew him as Pastor Coach, because he was a pastor. I don't know him as Pastor. So I was like, "What I'm gonna call you?" He was like, "My name's Joe." So I walk around, Joe. Everybody, Pastor, Joe. Just, and then eventually I started calling him Dad, because as I grew, I think one of you all said it, as I grew up and noticed how he was taking care of me, taking care of my mom and everything, that it was my dad.
That's right.
And so what is one step now that I think you can tell me, one positive step, to take and build a relationship with stepkids?
I would say one thing that you could do is you can start by building on the smallest common interest between you and them.
Oh, okay.
And what I mean by that is I'm not into sports. My husband is. My daughter loves basketball. They built from that smallest common interest. His daughter, or I'm saying his and my, but just to differentiate.
For clarity right now.
For clarity right now.
I got it. They y'all.
So our oldest baby, his daughter, she loves makeup. I love makeup. So we built from that common interest. So that's where we kind of begin the driving force of building a relationship that's not centered around her dad, or a relationship with my daughter that's not centered around me. What do we have in common? I want to get to know you more because I want to love you beyond our circumstance. So where do we begin? Let's begin on something that both of us like. So I would say that's a place that you can start. That's one of the places that you can start building a relationship with that child. And it's kind of age appropriate as well, because when they're older, it's a little bit different.
And what I try to do is just affirm them. You know, the oldest plays basketball, so there's a lot of talking about that, checking in on that, and telling him how, you know, how good he's doing, how proud we are of him. And then our youngest son is comedian, wants to do scripts and writing and stuff. So I engage with him and, you know, show him all of this stuff, these comedians that he's never heard of, because I'm trying to, you know, just basically affirm them and let them know that this family wouldn't be the same without you. Like, you are an important part of this family. And, you know, if you have questions that you want to ask us and me, especially when they were younger, I would say, you know, we're going to have honest conversations that's age appropriate.
Yes, I think early on, I think you just kind of rolled up your sleeves and kind of let them know, look, I'm here for you. You know, call me what you want to call me. I'm here for you. And I think to earn that level of respect, she taught Elias how to read, how to tie his shoes. I mean, like, she really kind of got in and did the mother stuff. And I think that goes a long way.
For sure.
You know? Yeah, like what you said about your dad, you earned your respect.
No doubt.
Like, and you didn't start calling him dad to high school.
To high school.
He ain't come to you and say, man, you got to call me. He just kind of, you know, was an example. And so I think that's really important. In any blended family, not demanding that. You going to call me daddy. You going to call me mom. All you do is push them away.
Right.
Because they're already trying to figure it out.
Okay. As y'all said at the church, Lo, we're getting ready to close. Getting ready to close.
This the real one?
This the second or the third. This ain't the real. They say hindsight, of course, is better than 2020. Question for everybody: if you could do anything differently, what would it be?
Man, great question.
I think I would have preferred to have premarital counseling in addition to the normal that you get when you get married, to have blended family counseling. To have that aspect, and maybe even a support group. I don't even know if that exists, but I'm like, maybe I needed.
You get involved.
Get a support group because you feel alone. And you feel like you're always wrong. You're always the one bringing up something. You know, you just feel like, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I am actually losing my mind. Like, you know, you just, but I feel like if you have a support group and maybe have some type of counseling to kind of not just say, well, it should be about the kids. Well, I need the group of people that said, well, it should be about the kids, but it wasn't. So I need your help. That's the group that I need. So that would be what I would do.
Because you all had a conference at the church.
We did. We did.
About this.
Yeah, we did. I would have gone to that. I I just would have wanted more insight to the reality, how to respond, how to, you know, not expect too much too soon. All of those things. Just give me something to work with.
And probably the counselor needs to be a person who is in a blend. Because you can't really speak to a blended family and you haven't been in a blended family.
I'm with you.
And a lot of people don't know this, but you know, Jesus was kind of in a blended family. And I tell all the women who have children who, you know, so you always want to look for a Joseph. You want to find somebody that's going to treat your child like it's their child.
Yeah.
And so I think that, getting that counseling is so vitally, and there's so many, blended family counseling centers now.
Yeah. Now.
They didn't have that kind of stuff back when we got.
Just dive in. Go. Matter of fact, I may have been pushed.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. Okay.
One of the things you talked about, in having full disclosure.
Yeah.
Kind of knowing all of those pitfalls and I think a lot of stuff we just didn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
And understandably so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, talk to me.
I would say for us, if I can go back and do anything differently, it would be more patience.
Okay.
We live in a instant gratification type of world.
It's the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll steal this from you real fast, Pastor Lowe. We have the microwave where, hey, I want this done.
Yeah.
Then the blender, with the blending, we try to force it.
Right.
But then I would go back and say, if I could do anything differently, I would put mine in a crock pot.
Oh, man.
Let that thing
now,
simmer.
Let it simmer.
Let it marinate, slow cook.
That's right.
Huh?
Okay.
The baby gonna be 37 by that time.
I'm gonna add it. The crock pots.
Let it simmer.
That's good.
It ain't nothing left for me to say.
Yeah.